is Grace Gonzalez, and I want to say thank you to Daniel and all the other leaders that make this happen, not just today, like she said, but week after week and month after month and things like that. And I'm actually from Houston, Texas, so this is probably my second time only in this area. And so I'm excited to be here. So and I want to say thank you all for showing up, and thank you all for having me. I really love atmospheres like this because, as they alluded to, we're all very different, and that's okay. It's okay. And what I heard a lot of them talk about is they are finding fulfillment, and that's where their motivation to be committed comes out of, but because they're doing what something that gives them fulfillment, and so am I. What God has me doing in my life, it is bringing me fulfillment. And there's something inside each and every one of us that has a longing for something greater, to do something greater, to be something greater, and who better than the greatest one of all, which is God, Jesus, to lead us into that, to lead us into those things. And as I was thinking about, what the subject that I'm just going to share a few minutes on, just a few thoughts, and just conversate with you about the longing inside each of us for something greater, I started to think on, how there are a lot of people in the world who think that we come from apes. Humanity comes from apes. And honestly, I love apes. I think they're cute. I love monkeys. I have sock monkeys. I love monkeys. I think they're cute. However, if I were to believe for myself that I evolved from an ape, although they're very cute, that doesn't leave me any hope to fulfill something great. I think, they do a great job in the circuses. They do a great job in the zoos. They do a great job in my room stuffed with socks. But, me focusing on that or looking at that as my potential is not going to give me much hope for my own life to fulfill the desire to be something great or do something great with my life. Then there's another handful of people who believe that we kind of basically just evolved from nothing. They say we just kind of got here. There's a lot of people that believe that. And in my opinion, to me, that doesn't give me much hope either, because I feel that if we just kind of came out of nothing, then that sounds really random. And therefore, if that's how my life started, then that's how my life is going to continue. And I am going to expect random things, and I basically will take anything that comes, and I'm going to settle for that. And there is no choice involved in that. If whatever comes to me is bad, then I have to live in sorrow. And yes, there might be things that come to me that are good, but living like that just out of randomness and taking whatever comes, and it's sad that a lot of people live like that. They say, well, this and this has happened in my life. I was abused when I was abused 20 years ago, and that's why I have to be sorrowful today because of what happened 20 years ago. And the choice to be happy, the choice to fulfill that longing of being great is removed. It's removed out of that. And I made a choice to believe that I came from Almighty God, which is what the Bible says, that I was created in His image. And me making the choice to believe that has fulfilled and is continually to fulfill my desire and to be great, to do something great, to be great for Him, to be great for other people, to be great for myself. But it wasn't until I made that choice to believe that it was Him, that it came from Him, that He is the fulfillment of everything great. And that gave me so much hope. Why? Because God is perfect, because God can do anything, and therefore if God can do anything, then I know that with His help, I can do anything. And I am not limited. See, the apes are cool, coming out of nothingness is, it's maybe not too bad of a thought either, but it's not as good and it's not as great as believing that I came from God and believing that that longing that is inside of me is a longing for God and everything that He is and everything that He can give me and everything that He has done, is doing, and will do to come. That's what has changed my life forever. And that's what I want to impart into you today, that whatever, we're all different, as we said, and we all have a desire to do something great. And we are already great because we are made in His image, and we are naturally, with God, gifted with certain gifts and talents. Some of us can draw, and you're good at it. You might be even great at it. Some of you can play an instrument. Some of you, can bake really good. You can do different things. We are awesome already because we're made in God's image. However, we were not created to be stagnant, as she said. Because God is not a stagnant God. Since we were made from Him and we come from Him, there's something that is naturally in us that is always wanting to search out more, because God is always doing something. God is always moving. God is not just in one place. God is everywhere. He is always in motion. And He's always in motion, making moves on our behalf. And therefore, if we get stagnant in any place, in any realm, in any area, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, if we get stagnant in any area of our lives, then we don't feel good. Basically, we start to get, as Daniel was sharing, I just kind of was in bed and just wanted to snooze on Epic. And then if you snooze on Epic, you start to snooze on life, and you start to snooze on other things, And we just don't feel good. And we've all been in that position. I've been in that position where we just get tired naturally, or, mentally we get exhausted, or whatever, and we start to focus on the wrong things. But when we get back into saying, like Samuel did in 2 Samuel 22:36. And Samuel, if you didn't know, in the Bible, he was a prophet, and he was greatly used by God. I mean, he was so great they even gave him 2 books in the Bible, 1 and 2 Samuel. He was a great guy used by God. But in 2 Samuel 22:36, he said, "Lord, it is your salvation that is my shield." And he says, "And it is your help that has made me great." Your help has made me great. We can all be great. We're all designed for greatness. Not just greatness, but greaterness. And yes, I just made up that word, greaterness. But we're only going to get there with God's help. And I don't necessarily bring you proof today that you didn't evolve from an ape, so to say. I didn't necessarily bring you proof today that you just kind of appeared out of nothingness. But I did bring you proof out of myself, and all of us are proof, that when we choose to decide and believe that it is God, that it is Him, that is the fulfiller and the fulfillment in one of our desire for greatness, the desire to do more, that your life will be changed forever. And that you will find everything that you're looking for. It doesn't matter what realm it is. I heard someone say, you want to know one of the greatest keys to just being successful in life overall? They said, just fall in love with Jesus and then do whatever you want. And that's kind of true when you think about it, because when you fall in love with Jesus, when you fall in love with God, His desires that He created you for, the things that He created you for, which is what you want to do secretly when you're in your room and you're just thinking and you're by yourself and you're thinking, man, I really want to do that, but maybe I'm not good enough. I really like that, but I don't know if people would approve. Those things that you want to do, that's what God created you for. That's what God created in you. That's what He put in you. And so when you decide to believe and to just fall in love with Him, then those desires are His desires, because He put them in you, and it is His help, like Samuel said, that will make you great and will give you that power to fulfill them. And then you will be great in your job, relationally, with your friends, with your family, and everything that you do at school. That's what I bring you proof of, that it is God. I bring you proof from my experience, from my own personal testimony. Just not less than 10 years ago, I was homeless for 10 years. I was a drug addict, I was an alcoholic, and then I lived a very different life than what I'm living now, and I had no plan, because I got to a dangerous place where I wanted to be great, but I failed and failed and failed and failed. And because of that, I stopped trying, and that's a dangerous place to get to that place. And I got to that point, and I went out one night on the freeway, and I ended up wrecking my car, and I ended up spending 2 years in a wheelchair. And the doctors told me that I was never going to walk again. And I was at the point of amputation when one morning before that point, I heard the audible voice of God that came and told me, you will walk, and you will talk, and you will smile again, but it's going to be for my glory. And slowly but surely, made my commitment to God. And that's what I bring you, that's what I want to share with you, is proof that when you just believe and trust that it is God who will fulfill everything in your heart, and that it is Him that you're longing for, He will lead you into greatness, His greatness. And now, ever since then, I think it's about every weekend that I'm in a different city, just telling people about Jesus, about what He can do for you. It's the same power that He used in me. We're all different, but we have the same God. And it's His same power that will change your life the way it has changed mine. And that's what I bring you proof of. That's what I bring you encouragement of, hope of, that it is God. That's why we're here. Because we all want something greater, and no matter what area. And that's why we're here. That's why Epic exists. That's why so many other ministries exist, because we're all searching for something greater. That's why we came from where we came from to be here. That's why I came from Houston to be here, to just spend a couple of hours with you guys. I'm driving straight back after this, but it's worth it, Daniel. It's worth it. It's worth it, because this is where God wanted me to be, and I know who He is. He is my fulfiller, and He is my fulfillment. And I will not be anywhere else. And so I say thank you for having me. I look forward to partying with y'all, and I just thank you. I will keep you all in my prayers and keep you all in my heart, and I pray that y'all do the same for me, and I hope to see y'all again soon, and I look forward to spending more time with y'all. Thank you, guys.